we were talking about, with the vaccine that's being, implemented worldwide, more and more people are getting vaccinated, but obviously it's the law of supply and demand. There are more people that needs vaccinated, but not enough vaccines to get vaccinated. So question here is, what can a person do here? Well, a big person, I mean, a big personality in our country, MVP or Mr. Manny V. Pangilinan, according to philstar.com, is his company is trying to find ways to produce vaccines locally here in the Philippines. Now, obviously, this would be tremendous because, you have how many people in the country? Oh, 100 million people, and to have that herd immunity to take effect, we need majority of, not just 50, 60, 70, or even higher as much as possible, so that everybody is protected. And you know not and then you have to worry if there's a different variant, you need a different vaccine for that one, or is your vaccine currently that you have is necessary. And take note, you have to take two vaccines, two dose not two vaccines, two doses of the vaccine to be able to say that you are protected, right? Having one is not enough, so you can just imagine, number of people times two, you need 200 doses, 200 million doses to be able to supplement the entire population here. And obviously, for a company like Mr. MVP here, there's money to be made as well. Killing two birds with one stone, helping your countrymen here, but and also making a big, making money out of it also would be tremendous, because if no other local companies here are able to supplement that, then good for them. And obviously, there will be hurdles that would be posted left and right in terms of, will the government allow that? Will it be recognized? Will they endorse it? And, all of those politicking stuff that comes along with it. Anyway, so according to the article, so they mentioned that Mr. Manny V wants to take a shot at vaccine production here in the Philippines by partnering with global vaccine giants. So whether it's Moderna, Pfizer, or any of those companies, and I think bringing it to our shores for production would be tremendous. Or do we have the facility, the capability, and even the resources to do that? Not just in the short run, but also long run, because it would be beneficial for us if we were to, be involved in another pandemic sometime in the future here. And according to Mr. Manny V. Pangilinan, he also mentions that the group is interested in the local manufacture of vaccines and booster that will follow. So it's not just the vaccine that they're interested in, but also the booster that comes with it. So it improves your immunity, so to speak. So hopefully, they can find a way to be able to do that. If not them or another company, doesn't matter, as long as everyone in the country is vaccinated. You know, they mentioned that they're still in the early stages of the plan, so there's no guaranteed partnership yet. So they're being hopeful about it, and obviously their goal here is not just to cover vaccines and boosters against COVID-19. So they're also looking at other viruses that can cause influenza, chickenpox, as well as polio, amongst others. So meaning they're looking at this long term, so that obviously, the pharmaceutical industry is a very big industry, and people need a lot of medicine to stay alive, and what even more so for vaccines against deadly diseases that we have here. And the MVP group already mentioned that it placed orders for some of the big companies. You have Moderna and AstraZeneca for vaccines, wherein they've already tried to vaccine most of their employees and as well as their dependents. Now they also plan to provide vaccines to other third-party suppliers, so any excess that they have. They also mentioned that the company, the hotels that they own, the Metro Pacific Hospital Holdings, or MPHHI, are already vaccinated as frontliners. Obviously, you need to protect the people at the frontliners. Now, what's interesting here is that 80% of their hospital workers are already vaccinated. So the number's only 20,500 out of the 25,700 employees that they have. So that's a high 80% rate. But compare that to the rest of the country, which, still 20,000's not going to get us anywhere. So we need a lot more doses, whether we source it from outside of the country or we produce it locally. Hopefully the government can promote this, look for companies who's going to bat for our country and be able to, if they're going to make revenue out of it, why not, might as well help our countrymen here.